Hi, I'm Levy, your friendly neighborhood Chibi Leviathan, and I'm going to be recapping session 11 of Lumineth the Looming Green. So we woke still at the cabin. We gathered up together, tried to have some breakfast from what rations and supplies that we could get there, and made plans for what we're going to call Burning Crow Festival, which is going to be some kind of Woodstockian event where people all gather together, barter, and live in this fairgrounds that we're going to build around this house. The house will be the centerpiece, and it's going to have a stage. It's going to feature Patch and the Rattlers. It's going to be some big event and spectacle that we're going to try to hold every year or so. So we're making plans on that kind of adventure. From there, we begin leaving and wandering through the forest, where we find a wounded person who seems to have wounded their leg quite badly, but the place that they're at isn't quite on the beaten path, nor does it have any path nearby it. Patch instantly senses that there's some kind of weird hoodoo voodoo going on, and Lyric takes time to try and detect that magic, to try and see if that is the situation. Whereas Cisco and Zeke are much more trusting and rush up to help this lady. When we do find out what kind of magic is going on, it turns out that this person and two others nearby are all hags and attack the party. After a long combat of trying to take them down without dying, we find that Ezekiel has decided he wants to capture the last hag by bounding it with his binding gag of not speaking magic. Unfortunately for him, both Lyric and Patch decide that this is a terrible idea, and that the gnome will not accept this gift to experiment on that Ezekiel intends it to be, and that bringing that kind of hoodoo voodoo magic into a place like Gnomeria, where it does not belong, because it's something magic that exists outside its borders, and because of the strange magic that exists in Gnomeria, and simply because that type of wizard is definitely not the type to take another living being to maliciously experiment on, like Ezekiel assumes. So they end it and begin to walk off. As they do so, Ezekiel makes comments with the group that end up devolving into essentially slander against those caster types, of which Ezekiel is the only one in the party who doesn't cast magic. This causes my character Lyric to become upset and storm off in a huff. He is followed by Patch, and the other three kind of keep a slow pace and do not try to catch up. Due to the fact that they were ahead of the party, Lyric and Patch are able to reach Gnomeria first, be led in by the gnomes, and essentially order that the other three be barred entry until they are done speaking to Finnegan Zook, the leader of Gnomeria. They retrieve the capsule that has the Elderborn essence within it. They thank him greatly, and they ask for a way to continue on their journey, something to swift in the process, and are granted essentially a spell gem that's going to cut off some of the distance. So they go outside, meet up with the party, and though the party is a little bit upset that they weren't allowed entry, at this point, our characters don't care much for the emotion that the other party members are feeling because of how they were treated on this day. So they simply gather them together, show them that the vessel for the souls is in Lyric's bag of holding, where it will be most safe. Lyric does offer to allow Ezekiel to carry the bag of holding, since he seems so adamant that it be left with him. He offers that, hey, yeah, you can take the bag of holding, it'll be on you, but it'll be safer because it's in an extra dimensional space. So with that, they are teleported essentially to a crossroads that is between the Temple of the Celestial and another place nearby where they can gather some yokai essence. I'm not sure exactly the location, but they arrive and they have a quick discussion about what to do next, and decide that since Ezekiel continues to have problems interacting with yokai in in general, it's best to start first with the Celestial. And so they decide to head off in that direction, and that ends the session.